Yeah, Valerie, we're all over the world.
What is up, all you stone cold super fly fish keeping funkadelics? You watching Aquafunk, and today was a bad day. Not gonna lie to you, I was sitting in front of this camera, just trying to get out a video, and I have a list of things that I want to do videos on. But if I'm not inspired to do that particular subject, it comes out kind of, you know what I mean? You don't want that. I don't want that. So I took a break from everything. So let me hop on a couple of chats. Let me get my mind off of it. And I stumbled across China's empire. Peace and a shout out to China's empire. China, thank you so much. Here's the thing. So I'm on China's empire video. Saturday night. It's late. And, you know, she's just talking. If you don't know her channel, you go check out. I'm going to put a link in the description below. She likes to just chit-chat, talk it up, whatever's going on. It's not about fish. It's just people talking. Well, China and people like China who are interested in the hobby but are having trouble getting started, running into brick walls, is one of the reason why I started my channel. So I was telling her I was having problems trying to, you know, get inspired to do this video. She started asking me questions. And if any of you fish people know, when you kind of in a funk and people start asking you about your hobby that you love so much, it kind of peps you up. So here I am. This video is for China and every other person out there who is like China, trying to get an aquarium, but you're having issues. You kill the fish. You don't know what's going on. Da 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 da. Boom, I got you. Hold up, stop the tape. Look, if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell. If you want to learn more about starting up your aquarium and being successful about it, please do that so that you can get all the stuff that I have to put out. Like I said, my channel is dedicated to getting an aquarium in everybody's house and having everybody be successful at it. So yeah, please do that. And back to what I was saying. Alright, so I'm on China's live chat, and she asked me, why is it that her fish die on her when she gets a fish? How do you keep it alive? And I said the number one reason why beginners have problems keeping fish alive is they don't understand the nitrogen cycle. It's real simple. It's a triangle. Boom, 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 boom. Ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate. Okay, let's start with ammonia first. Ammonia is uneaten food. Ammonia is poop. Ammonia is if you have live plants and they start dying on you. It's anything biological that decays. So you don't want to overfeed your fish, because then the extra food falls to the bottom, it decays, turns into ammonia. You don't want to overfeed your fish, because if you overfeed your fish, they eat a lot, they poop a lot, turns into ammonia. Live plants, if they dying on you, take them out. They just decay, turns into ammonia. Okay, that ammonia will start turning into nitrite. Nitrite will eventually die off and turn into nitrate. Okay, now nitrate, the only way you can get rid of nitrate is, well, you can put plants in your aquarium that eats up nitrates. But the best way to get rid of nitrates is to do a 25% water change once a week. Now, regular water changes, it's all balanced. It's all a cycle. So you want to keep it pretty much the same thing all the time. So you want to do a 25% water change once a week. A lot of people do it Wednesdays, Sundays, whatever. What's best for you? Okay, so we're going to talk about your filter. Alright? Now you know that the three things you have to think about. Now we're going to talk about your filter. Your filter has three types of filtration in it. You have the mechanical, which all mechanical means is it's something that physically takes stuff out of the water. Right? Then you have the chemical. Right? Usually the chemical, like this is mechanical. It physically takes particles out of the water. Chemical is usually activated carbon. Some people call it charcoal. I always call it charcoal. Is that those black rocks in your filter cartridge. Then you have, in my opinion, is the most important filtration media there is. That is biological. Okay, what biological is that it's a living organism. Okay, we call it good bacteria or beneficial bacteria. It grows in your tank naturally. It don't happen overnight. That's what some people say. Let your tank cycle for a week or 2 weeks, depending how big it is. It's little living bacteria that eats up bad stuff out your water. It eats up ammonia. Right? You can't see it. In this particular aquarium, this plastic right here, it grows beneficial bacteria. Beneficial bacteria grows on everything. It grows on the sides. It grows in your rocks. So whatever when you get a filter, find out which part of it is the beneficial bacteria. Now, the beneficial bacteria part of it is just as delicate as the fish. So you cannot take that part out of the filter and clean it with tap water. Tap water has chlorine in it. Alright? That chlorine will kill your beneficial bacteria. Like I said, you can't see it. So, you know, basically it's just just whatever's plastic, try and leave it. And if you do clean your tank, never use water with chlorine in it. That brings me to my next issue. Chlorine and chloramine. It's in your tap water. The city puts it in there. Alright? It's for our benefit. But it kills fish and beneficial bacteria. So, when you're doing your 25% water changes, you want to use dechlorinator. It's a little thing, little bottle, little drops. Tells you how much to put per gallon, per drop. And what that does is it gets rid of the chlorine and chloramine, making it safe for your fish. Alright? So, a beginner might do this. And I worked at a pet store, so I know this happens. A beginner will get an aquarium and put it together and put a fish in it the first day. Problem number one, your nitrogen, you haven't gone through your nitrogen cycle. Your ammonia hasn't gone to nitrate and then turned into nitrite. Sorry, your ammonia hasn't turned into nitrate, and then to nitrate. So that cycle has not been completed. You don't have any beneficial bacteria, which your fish need to clean out the water. Fish cannot live in perfectly clean water. It needs to have the beneficial bacteria. Or you changing your water with water from the tap that has not been treated and it has a poison in it that kills them. Okay, so there you go. Those are the main reasons why people kill their fish. One extra thing I'd like to add is temperature. If you live in a cold house like I do, you know you gotta keep that temperature around 75 for tropical fish. All right, 75 to 78 for tropical fish. They'll be happy. But my big secret in keeping fish is aeration. You'll see people put bubblers in their tank. Okay, you don't need to buy a bubbler. You know the little air pumps. Aeration, you can't even see it happen. This is where aeration comes from, y'all. This is the true where aeration. You see right here where the water is shaking. Okay. Now, as the water shakes, it breaks. You can't see it, but like imagine this is the very. If you ever looked at your glass and you seen like there's like a line at the top of your water, where almost it's like a barrier from the air to the water. It's like a line. Well, that's the water surface. Now, imagine my fingers are the water surface. Now, what happens is when the water shakes, it does like this. All right, it breaks the water surface. Air will get trapped in between there, and then when the water comes down, it gets atomized. All right. It gets squished. The air gets squished and turns into microscopic air oxygen molecules, right? And then when it goes down, the air drops down. That's what the fish breathe. Okay, that bubbler, they do not breathe those big bubbles of air. No, what that bubbler is for is just to break the water of the surface. So if you have a filter that is causing this, then you're good. If your water is just flat, sitting there, doing nothing, your fish ain't getting no air. Alright? So those are a couple of reasons that your fish die. I suggest to anybody out there getting fish for the first time, get one fish. Learn your nitrogen cycle. All you got to do is take a sample of this water, get a sandwich bag, you fill it up halfway with water, right? Take it down to the pet store. They should be able to test it for free. You set up your aquarium, let it percolate for a week, take it down to the pet store. They should test that water for free. Once your ammonia is at 0 and your nitrite is at 0 and your nitrate is what I think they say below 40 ppms, that's parts per million. Really, you want to keep it as low as possible. Those 25% water changes will do that. You're good. Your water is cycled. Your water is safe for fish. You have the temperature right, so they're not going to get too cold. You got filtration, shaking the top of the water so they're going to be able to breathe. The only thing you have to do, your 25% water changes with the chlorinated water, with the drops, and not overfeed them. Get one nice size fish for you to learn with. Alright? Do not add too many fish at one time. I suggest when you add fish, depending on what type of fish it is, let's say this is a 10-gallon tank and you want to do tetras, okay? I suggest you add 3 1 week. Go down after the first week, test your water. Now mind you, you're setting up the tank, letting it sit for a week, then you get the fish. 3 per week. After your tank is cycled, 3 fish per week. That gives your balance, your ammonia cycle, your nitrogen cycle, time to level out. Because every time you add something to this tank, you're changing the cycle. You're throwing it off a little bit. Like if you have 3 fish in there and everything is good, you put more fish in there, it kind of throws it off a little bit. Alright? You gotta give it time to even out, then you can get more fish. That's why I suggest get 1 fish. Learn how to take care of 1 hardy, healthy, strong fish. I suggest for starters, barbs. If you have a 10-gallon tank, barbs. Alright, now mind you, some barbs, you want to do your research, you want to ask the questions, are they mean fish, what can you put with them, da 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 da. But if you have a 10-gallon tank, barbs. Pretty strong fish, and you'll be good with it. So hopefully that helped you out, China, and anybody who it applies to. Yeah, that's all you need. You need to learn about your nitrogen cycle, ammonia, nitrate. You need to do 25% water changes. Do not overfeed because it throws off your balance. You need oxygen. And you need to get the temperature right. And if you do those things and pay attention to what's going on, you'll be alright. I hope this helped you out, China. And like always, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and take care of your fish.
Sí.